You ready? Oh, tell me when. Give me a thumbs up. We're ready to start this year. What? We are live. Rabbi Sai, today's 47 days in the Omer. Hayoim Shiva v'Arboim Yoim Shem Shisha Shavuos v'Chamisha Yomim ba'Omer. Today's daf is being sponsored by Noam Fix's mother, dedicated by Chaya Fix. Shalom Aleichem, Reb Levi Friedman. In memory, let's do it again. Dedicated by Chaya Fix, in memory of her grandmother, Chaya, her daughters, and grandchildren who perished at Auschwitz. Zechroinam Livrocha, she's dedicating a few days here. And we have a tremendous Hakar Satayv to Mrs. Fix for bringing up such an outstanding member of society. Noam was a very integral part of our shir, Filin Magid shir, Ha'aris guy during shir, meeting guy. Yesterday he made a meeting. He made all this that you guys are sitting here in the room is all Noam Fix, making the list and all behind the scenes. He's a very, very busy man. He's one of the other, what? Noam, could we hear you? He wants to know if we could hear you. He's the principal, I don't know what they call him. He owns Tomer Devora, and one of the only seminaries that had 20 girls during the entire pandemic. And he ran the school, and he helped us out here. So Yishkoyach Noam for everything you do. Yishkoyach to Mrs. Fix for bringing up such a chush of a guy. So yesterday I started this email. There's not a whole lot here, only to say that thanks for making us all feel part. It's a very long email, one of the most complicated ones that I've ever read, only because certain parts I can't read, certain parts I could read, and I messed up. I just mentioned her name, her husband Chap, that it's a surprise. Thanks for making us all feel part of the shir. Not only does the shir help my husband learn, but also keeps me and giving time to help me listen to letters, watching the class. It keeps me excited about his learning. It keeps his wife excited about his learning as well. Our plan was to be in Eretz Yisrael this summer, and we're hoping to join the Siyum on Masechtas Shabbos in person. We were just thinking about it. I was talking to Noam about it. We got to do something special. Masechtas Shabbos should have something to do with Shabbos, like a Shabbos away or a Shabbos locally, but Sudas, something Givaldic. We are actually 80 daf into Shabbos. 80 daf into Shabbos. When this whole thing started, we were just about 10 daf in. So now we're 80 daf. We're exactly midway through Masechtas Shabbos. Wishing you continue Hatzlacha from Houston, Texas. Do not read aloud her name. Okay. Then it comes from Eliezer Kessler, her husband. I guess the cat's out of the bag. Blah, blah, blah. You ruined my surprise. Don't worry. No hard feelings. His mother's name is she did not. It was me that I didn't say his mother's name correctly. Esther Gruna Bas Chaim Kalman is the correct way. The yard set was Beis Sivan yesterday. I might as well tell you, first of all, how much time and effort goes into preparing the shir, making the Emin Daf. I want to thank you for all of that. He said that 10 years ago he made a video about the Lamites Malachas, and he brought Bachram over there, and they thought that when you open up the grain of the wheat, out falls out flour. They didn't realize all the malachas that go into it. And if anybody wants to see, so today is his birthday, Rebbe Eliezer Kessler, who is a Rebbe in Houston, Texas. Yishkoyach for all the hard work you do, Rebbe Eliezer. And Yishkoyach, look, this is a guy that's very hands-on, wants to teach us, so it fits right into our shir. Teach the Talmidim by bringing them to a farm. So if you want to, I don't know if the Olam will chap this. chinuch.org/AV library/39 like Makafim Tzai. How do you say that in English? Not a minus sign on the bottom, but in the center. Hyphen, thank you. Melachos -video. If you want to see his video, here's a picture of our very good friend Moshe After. He's a Hasidic kid, long pious. It's going to come up today in our sugya. Daf Pei Aleph, pious. He's from Montreal. Joined us. This is disturbing to the YouTube guys. Joined us from Montreal almost every day on Zoom. He's probably on Zoom right now. Moshe After. Check this out. Beautiful picture of him. And he writes, you know what, I'll read it first. During COVID, being home all the time, change of scenery, and keeping our moods uplifted and joyful is vital. A couple of smiley faces. Even my chavrusa understands the importance of learning the 8-minute daf. Who's this chavrusa? There's a picture of him and his chavrusa. Keep up your excellent shir. Sincerely yours, Moshe. Here's his chavrusa. a rabbit. He's in the cage. I think it's one of the best pictures I've been sent. The Gemara is open. The 8-minute daf is open. Shkoyach. What else do we have here? We have a minute or two. Can't even get to it. Real quickly, Shalom Rav Eli Stefansky, this is from Yisrael Chayfetz. I recently came across your 8-minute daf and fell in love with them, as they are super clear and really provide a great chazor of the daf. I also started to listen to the full daf on YouTube. I'm sending this email as the last 2 days there's not been an updated 8-minute daf for that day's daf, and I'm assuming this has to do with the fact that we just moved back into the base medrash. I learned daf with my father, who's deaf, and he's heard me listening to your shir and has commented to me how clear it is. And he can't even follow along to an extent. Thank you for all your hard work. This 8-minute daf, it's harder than I can imagine. Anyway, I'm trying every day. It's like, and then as I catch up, then comes Shavuos, and then I'm down another day. So we're trying hard. And the guy that edits the video, he's in charge of Marava Yeshiva, and he's super busy, so he can't do more than one. Kitzer, we'll get there. Be'ezer Hashem, we're going to catch up. This is from Avi Mandelbaum from yesterday. Just going to skip around here. It was such a lovely experience. He was here yesterday, drove in from the Golan, from the Galil, from Moreshet. He got up 5 in the morning to get here. It took him a long time. I look forward to repeating it one day soonish with many more people inside the base medrash, or I should say bet midrash. At the end, I mentioned to Rav Eli that I'm around halfway through Shas. Now that I'm back home, a many-hour process of making cheesecake. Did the math, I'm above 700 blat total since I learned Elu Metzias with Rabbi Moshe Yankelevich in 6th grade. He's counting since 6th grade, he's halfway through Shas. But as I said to Rav Eli, this experience is truly the most enjoyable learning I've ever done. Also, before starting this cycle of Daf Yomi with you, it's been many years since I learned any Gemara seriously. Thank you for giving me this gift. I'm not just excited for learning, but I'm super excited about the second cycle in 7 years. The new relationships I formed in such a short time, and old friends I'm back in contact with. Wow, it's just simply amazing. Yeah, he's one of the main guys on Zoom. You always see him on the top next to Avigdor Fold over there. Just as you hosted me, please know that we have a guest house and Shabbos. Come to me for Shabbos, Chag, whatever. Thank you again. Now time to go make some soup for lunch. No joke. Avi Malman, he loves soup. Avi, my bracha to you is that you should be addicted to Torah as much as you're addicted to soup. Amen, Kein Ratzain. And I think we could start. Today, we're a little bit behind, and that's okay. You know what? Just one quick thought that I had this morning. I should have had this yesterday. Nachum Katz was here yesterday, and I had this thought this morning. I don't know why. I was thinking about all these guys that we learned during COVID, that there are people that are addicted to Tefillah B'tzibur. You know what I mean? They go to davening not because the Rebbeinu Shalom wants them to go to davening. This is what they do every day. And so if the Gedolim say not to, the Misrad Abiyut says not to, common sense says don't go, they have to go. They have to go to the point that somebody dunked himself in a Caleb mikvah, pictures of him coming out again, addicted to certain things. So I was thinking that it's unbelievable. What's the exact opposite to me? Nachum Horovitz. Nachum Horovitz, I hope he's listening. If not, somebody send it to him, please. I can't tell you how many people told me, he started this minyan in Scheinfeld. He started this 15 years ago, never missed a day. He's there every single day, his baby, his minyan. But when he found out about the shir, he dropped it, he's never been back there. I mean now maybe, I don't know what's going on now. But in other words, here's a guy that knows, for him, it was more important to do the daf and be part of this, so the minyan, it was secondary. He started it. He never everybody knows. I can't tell you. Maybe 5 people came. You stole Nachum from our minyan. He's been there. The exact opposite of what we were seeing. Baruch Hashem, there are people like that. So tremendous. I just thought about it today. I don't know why. I was thinking about Nachum Horowitz and all the guys that came yesterday. You know what? We should really sing a song for you guys. What song? No, that will put me to sleep. Ay, semen tov, mazel tov, semen tov, mazel tov, semen tov, mazel tov, yeh lanu, semen tov, mazel tov, semen tov, mazel tov, semen tov, mazel tov, yeh lanu, l'chol Yisrael, yeh lanu, l'chol Yisrael, man. You guys on Zoom could also join us. Hey, love avanu, lecha Yisrael. Yeah, hey, lanu lecha Yisrael. Amen. Simon, I'll get lessons from you one day. Yeah, still with this. I don't have a break. I can't get my voice. But Eli Stefansky Shkoch was singing with us, the only guy on Zoom that was singing. All right. We're holding Daf Pei Omid Beis. Also, I have to thank Leon Welcher. I'm not going to tell you everything about it, but he sent me, as I was falling asleep, at 1 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden I decided for a dumb reason to open up my email, see what I missed that day. And it says, Eli, please, I can't wait for your comments. I open it up. It's a 2-hour video that he produced about our shir during COVID. It's only 2 hours. So of course I started it, but then I couldn't stop. It goes through the golden dove and all these shiurim and how we go from here to 10 people and then to my house and then every day in different emails. It's crazy. So tremendous shikoyach. I'm not going to send it out yet because it's not edited. We have to condense it somehow. We'll make it from 2 hours to 1 3/4 or something. Something more. All right. Zok the Heilige Mishnah. Adama. Continue with the same theme that every product has a shear. Some shiurim are the same. But we have to know what the usage of this product is. Adama, dirt, red clay, like the seal that you produce on cargo on a ship. We don't know what that looks like, but some sort of box. You have to seal it so nobody opens it up. Whatever, however much dirt it takes to make a seal. Chacham obviously something much smaller. It's for a letter. Letters are smaller than boxes or bags or whatever they had on a ship. Zevel v'chol adak, fertilizer and very fine sand, kedei lezabel kelach shel kruv, enough to fertilize the head of a cabbage. Enough to fertilize a leek. Smaller shear than to fertilize a cabbage. Choil agas, what do you do? What's the shear of very coarse sand? Kedei liten al meloi kafsid, in order enough to put on a spoon of lime. So there's some sort of picture here. I just found it on the internet. It's not really exact. The one from Yoni was better, maybe in terms of the shape. As we're going to see in the Gemara, it's something like this. I'll explain. So he fills up this trowel. The Gemara says it's a trowel, so that's why I got a trowel. Says the Mishnah, what do I do with a reed? A little branch reed, you can make a pen out of it. You can make it out of a feather. You can make it out of a reed. But if it's really thick, you're not going to make a pen out of something you can't grab with your fingers. Or merusa, so it's cracked. So again, I'm not going to make a pen out of it. In order to use it as fuel to cook an egg, not just an egg, the easiest egg to make, trufa, it's beat. In other words, it's easy to cook. Unesuna bilfat, it's already in the pot. Okay, as we're going to see in the Gemara, explain a little bit more. Says the Gemara, al meloi kafsid tana. Kidei. By the way, before we go weiter, I just have to mention this. Yesterday, it was just interesting. Yesterday, I said the story about the guy that was asked to bring coffee to Israel, and they found diamonds. So today we have the schos of having Leiby. He's our in-house koil yungaman. He learns in koil all day, but he comes to the shir. It's a big schos for us to have a koil guy here. And his father, Bernard David from the Rish Chabur of Manchester, sent me an email. He says, that story happened to my brother-in-law. And it didn't happen in New York, it happened in Belgium. He told me the names. And Rabbi Eli Sternbach is a witness to this story. So, yeah, you knew that? You didn't tell me when I was in the Beis Medrash yesterday. So, I knew the story for many years. Now I know that there's actually people that know the people that the story happened to. Anyway, he fixed it up a little bit. He said the guy called him up before the airport, after the airport. He kept on calling him. He realized right away we're in SARS. Zog the Gemara, Al Meloi Kafsid, Tana, Kedei, before, I know we have plenty of time. Another Ara, this is for Harry Shalom. So I told my wife the story yesterday. I said, I brought the coffee to share, and I said this thing about the coffee. She said, did you tell everybody that this coffee is worth more than diamonds? She really thinks it's worth it. And I saw she was being serious, kind of. Coffee's worth, it's all in the person. So for Yantav Bezer Hashem, we're going to dress up the coffee, we're going to give her a nice box. So what's this? In order to put it on a trowel of the lime guys, the guys that make lime, a trowelful worth of what's that? Oh, it's up there. They're up there making noise again. Trowelful full of dirt. Now, if you're telling me the shear, Gary, I think the sound is coming out of this machine over here. And it's like going back. So if you're telling me that how much dirt is the shear, enough to put in lime, that means that's important. It's a good thing to put dirt and lime, right? We have to hold copper for a second. Why would I say dirt and lime? What's the connection? Because dirt and lime go together. I'm not saying yogurt and lime. I'm saying dirt and lime, because dirt is something you put in lime. So it's a good thing. So we have to figure out who holds that it's something good to put in lime. So because of Churban Abayis, and we're familiar slightly with this halacha, we all leave like 1 amma by 1 amma in our house, no sid, no lime, because it beautifies the house. You could put sid in your house. If you put straw or dirt in there, you could. Do not put dirt, and that's what we're talking about. Why can't you put dirt in there? This sid and this trachsid, this super lime. You want to make it really, really good, you put dirt. In other words, dirt is good for sid. What happened? We lost everybody? What? YouTube also?
No, you got frozen also.
We have plenty of time. We have 29 minutes to do a daf and a half. What's pshat?
Okay, now it's back.
You're going to start getting, everything is back? Oh, you hear them all coming back. Shalom Aleichem. It only happened to me once in 2 months, and it's already happening to you. Shem Yirachem. Why? Do we know why this happened? What about YouTube? It's continued, or we have to restart it? Akiva Solway, Shkoyach, how are you? He also made it to the 2-hour video. You know, it was very cute. I don't know if you guys remember Avi Kamiansky's kid that got up in the chair, and he said, "You saved my dad from coronavirus and Rabbi Seltzer." He stuck that in. Anyways, can we go weiter? Okay, let's go weiter. Rabbi said, don't worry, 28 minutes is more than enough time to do a daf and a half. Says the Gemara, Trachsid, Rava Amar afilu temi Rabbanon. You could say it goes according to Rabbanon. Kilkuloi zehu tikunoi. In other words, dirt is not good for lime, but it's good for halacha lime. In other words, if I want to use this lime in my house, I'm not allowed to because the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. So I have an idea for you. Take dirt, throw it into the lime, mess up your lime. It'll be inferior lime, and now you can use it. It'll be dark. So dirt is not really good for it. The kilkul, ruining the lime, is the tikkun. Now I could use it. Mordechai Adler sent me an email. I looked it up. Yishkoyach fedahara. Kana kedei lasis kulmos. What do I do with a reed? I make a pen with it. Tana kulmos hamagil kishretz baisov. A pen that comes to the joints of his fingers. Boy Ravashi, Kesher Elyon and Kesher Tachtin. Does he mean this joint, the one that attaches to the hand, or this joint? Teiku, I don't know. If it's a very thick reed, Tana. Truva b'shemen and asuna bilfas. I have to beat it nicely with oil and put it into a pot, these eggs. So what's the quickest thing? If you go online, and we had this once in a Gemara, we had it in a Mishnah actually, and on Daf, Shabbos Daf Lamed Ches, we spoke about you're not allowed to cook eggs in the sun. Why eggs? Because eggs are very easy to cook in the sun. The people say, oh, it's so hot in Texas. Look, you take an egg. Nobody ever cooked pasta on his car. They take an egg, they pour it on the windshield, and That was what we had back then, if you remember that thing. So anyways, it's a thing. So how much wood of a reed? Enough to cook up an egg, which is already full with oil, it's already beat. It's a small shear. So Marbereder told his son, Mishmilach Beitza Kalamai, do you know what kind of egg we're discussing? Yes, Be'atzo de Tziltzila. We're talking about a little pigeon egg, a dove egg. My time, why? Mishum de Ziltra, it's small. Ema de Tziparta, well, there's birds that's smaller than a pigeon. Ishtik, he didn't have an answer. Omalei, no, and what about you, Daddy? Me the Shmiya Lochba, did you hear anything? Omalei, Hachi Omar Rav Sheshes. Beitzas Tarnagoylas. We're talking about a chicken's egg. Or my Karla Beitza Kala. So why does the Mishnah say it's easy to cook? Shir Chachamim, Ein Lecha Beitza Kala Lavashal Yoitzer Me Beitzas Tarnagoylas. It's very easy to cook. Easiest of all eggs. Or Maishna Kol Shir Shabbos Kegregeres Vacha Kebeitza. When it comes to Ilcha Shabbos, we say always the size of a dried fig. What's this that you have to cook a whole egg? You're not cooking a whole chicken egg. You're cooking from a chicken egg. How much? The size of a gergeres. The material is a chicken egg. How much of that material? The gergeres, like in everything else in Shabbos. Says the Mishnah, Etzem kidei lasis tarvod. When you take a bone out into Rosh Hashanah, what's the shear? The size of a spoon, a small spoon. Rabbi Yehuda Omer kidei lasis min chaf. In order to make a lock out of it, the Gemara is going to discuss. Zechucha is how much glass? Kidei ligra by roish hakirkor. So here's a picture from Yoni. Here's the loom, and you have these different spun threads, and you take this tool. It's very sharp, and you separate the threads. This tool needs to be sharpened occasionally. With what? With a piece of glass. So that's the size of the piece of glass. Sroir, Oyeven, what size of a stone is considered haitzah? And remember this halacha, because later on the Gemara is going to say a different shear. Kidei lizrek ba'oif. So if you have some sort of stone that's not muktzah, enough to throw out a bird, to scare away a bird. Rebbe Lezer ben Yaakov Aimer, kidei lizrek bebehema. Explains Rashi, Rebbe Lezer ben Yaakov doesn't like that shear because a bird, says Rashi, you could just scare it with your mouth. You scream and it runs away. I thought when I read it, I tried it when I was a kid, if you just pretend you're throwing it at the bird, it'll also run. So you don't even need a stone. Maybe if the bird doesn't see you, you use your sound, that's also good. So anyways, you need a stone the size that has the mass that could reach an animal, and as the Gemara is going to describe, it's going to disturb the animal. So it has to be a larger shear, says the Rebbe Lezer ben Yaakov. L'meimra, the shear, the Rebbe Yehuda nafesh. So we explained this yesterday as well. From the fact that Rebbe Yehuda says that a piece of gemi is in order to measure a kid's foot, which is smaller than the device to hold up a sifter. So you see that Rabbi Yehuda, when he has two choices, a smaller one and a larger shear, he goes with the smaller shear. In other words, he holds shchiach and shchiach, or shchiach and somewhat shchiach, you go with the lower shear. So then he has to be consistent throughout all the Mishnayos. It's not just, I found once that he said a bigger shear, a smaller shear. So how come over here he says a bigger shear than Chachamim? Hakayim alon the shear the Rabbanon nafesh. We're not talking about a whole lakh. A whole lakh would actually be more than Chachamim. We're talking about basically this guy, the tongue of the lakh. We have a locksmith in our share, right? Mr. Halperin. So this red thing, I just drew it in red, according to a lot of explanations. This is from the Mesifta. This red guy. So in other words, this red guy is much smaller than the holak, and it's smaller than the shear of Chachamim, which say a spoon. This, what is it called? Not a tongue. It has a better name, no? What was it? Oh, the teeth of the lak. Okay, the Arsha says teeth of the lak. That's even a different picture, that it really has teeth going down. Fine. So this device, if you didn't put it into the lak yet, tahirim, it's not mekabel tuma. Kvamim bepisachas, but once you put it into the lak, tmei and the mekabel tuma, says Rashi, they have a halacha of pshute kli barzel, because they could go both ways. a bone is similar to a piece of wood. A simple piece of wood that doesn't have a toich, doesn't have a base kibble, is not mekabel tuma, flappy. But this could be like a piece of metal. So it's mekabel tuma once it's part of a kli, once it's part of the lock. Vishal gal, if this lock is part of a gate, even if you banged it in with nails, tahirim, why? The famous halacha, anything that's why you're allowed to touch a lock on Shabbos, you're allowed to touch a door. It's part of the, it's mechuber. Once it's mechuber to karka, it's not mekabel tum anymore. Schuches, k'dei ligroir, what's the size of glass? Tana, schuches, k'dei leftzei b'shnei nimim kachas. Rashi goes through the trouble to explain that there's two types of spellings of the word schuches. One is with a zayin, one is with a samach. One means zechuches, means clear, to see through the glass. Sechuches, says Rashi, is like by sari menu, it means the reflection. Because people look at a glass, they look at themselves. But it means the same thing. When you have threads on a loom, then you take that glass and you cut those threads. How much of a shear do you need for a stone? Enough to throw at a cap, a bird. It has to be enough that you cause a dent in the animal, that it's going to move, it's going to do something, because you can't just throw a little pebble at an elephant and think it's going to move, it's going to do something. Mishkal asor zuz. It has to weigh a certain amount, asor zuz. We're going into an unbelievable Gemara, unbelievable sugya of toilet paper. So, Menachem, you might want to remove your children from the Beis Medrash now. There's a concept of kavod habrius, of human dignity. And we don't allow melacha because of human dignity. We had the pasuk that if HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to do something, you do it, even if it means that you're going to be embarrassed. If you're wearing shatnez, you have to take off your shirt in the middle of or your pants, whatever it is, in the middle of the street. Chachamim relax the restrictions when it comes to human dignity, and therefore when it comes to toilet paper, we have the concept of kavod habrius, human dignity. So ask Zunim, all the Beis Midrasha, Zunim walks into the Beis Medrash, Omar Lahu, and he screams out, Rabbi Sai, toilet paper, Avonim shel Beis HaKisei shurim b'kama. How many stones could I take to the bathroom on Shabbos? Omar Loi, kezayis, ke'egois, ukebeitza. There's an olive's worth. You can take 3 stones. Explains Rashi. It's a process. You use the smallest one first to get rid of the big stuff, and then the large. You don't want to use a big stone because then it'll go everywhere. So it's very practical. These are sharp edges. There's a way to do it. Great. I know you're all thinking, wow, it's a good thing I don't live back then. I would have had to use a stone. And I'm thinking about you guys. And during the Corona, the first thing everybody ran is toilet paper, toilet paper. And I'm thinking you guys are crazy. There's something, it's public service. Nobody's listening really. There's only about 10 of you guys. Something called a bidet. Check it out. 1,000 times better than toilet paper. And if you have it, you don't need toilet paper. You don't have to worry about. In Chicago, when I was building my house, I bought a bidet. It's called a Toto. It's like a Mercedes. It costs almost like a Mercedes. It's actually called a Mercedes. It's called S350. Toto S350. It has fans. It has warmers. The whole thing. And we bring it into my house, and then I realized, we built the house without a plug next to the toilet. So I can't even use it. So it's in storage somewhere in Chicago. Somebody wants a nice toilet. Look me up. Fine. dafbrama at Gmail. Anyway, I'm not saying to get that, but you can buy it for 25 shekel. It's kedai. Anyway, no, because la halacha, seriously, la halacha, it's much better because there's issues. If you're not 100% clean, you can't make brachas, you can't learn Torah. Check it out. I was just, I don't know, I'm going off time. If my wife hears this, Shem Yirachim, he's giving me the eyes. I was in, what do you call it? In Letterman. Every toilet has it because of halacha. And the same money. So you have to bring 3 types of rocks, a large, medium, and a small. So I have to walk around with a scale on Shabbos. I have to start measuring. They sell it in kits, the toilet paper kit. You get the large, medium, and small. So it says, they said, no, it doesn't matter how many rocks and how big they are. Whatever can fit in one hand, that's how much you do. If it's 1 rock, great. 5 rocks, great. Doesn't matter the size, doesn't matter how many, 1 handful, that's it. Tanya Rabbi Yossi Oimer, Rabbi Yossi himself says, Kizayis Kegois Kebeitzo. These 3 rocks, Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Yossi, but his son says, I don't know, maybe they got something else over here. Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Yossi. Mishum Aviv, he says in the name of Rabbi Yossi, not true, that's not what my father said. He didn't say kizayis kegus kibetza. He said miloy hayad, just like we said, a handful. Ton Rabbanon, gimel avan mikrul zolois, mutal lahachens l'beis hakisei. You're allowed to take 3 sharp stones into the bathroom. So this is different. 3 that are the size of a walnut. Not 1 egg, 1 walnut, 3 the same size. 3 egg works. Just like we have machlokes the size of the toilet paper, we have the same machlokes by esrig. That what? Rabbi Yehuda says, if you look, you remember in Sukkah, Rabbi Yehuda says, Yeshua knows this about Peh. Rabbi Meir says egois, Rabbi Yehuda says kibetza. That's the size of an esrig, the minimum for an esrig. Says the Gemara, Hasamas Nisan, Hacha Braisa. Everybody knows the Mishnah, not everybody knows the Braisa. What, you telling me that the Braisa came first and we should remember a Mishnah based on a Braisa? It's the opposite. You remember Braisas based on a Mishnah. You're right. It starts in Masechtas Sukkah. If you remember Sukkah, you know that Rameir said like a walnut. An esrog should be the size of a walnut. So you know that toilet paper also should be the size of a walnut. Amar Rav Yehuda, Avaloi is a payas. That's how you spell it. Poyes. Avaloi is a poyes. My poyes. Amar Abzeri Karshine Bavliyos. You shouldn't use pebbles, the Bavli pebbles, because they'll fall apart. So you can't use that on Shabbos. Amar Rava. Now, when people were constipated, they would take a stone and massage themselves over there. Also, you can't do that on Shabbos. Why? It's a problem of goizes. Tearing hair on Shabbos. But we learned many times, if holding back is hadroikin, holding back tanim, yirakoin, whatever it was called. Different diseases for holding back different things. It's a sakana. Says Gemara Kilachiyad. You do it differently than you do it usually. You do it in a different way. How different? Let's say during the weekday you hold it like this. On Shabbos you hold it with 2 fingers. I don't know how. Maybe like this. 2 fingers versus the whole hand. Kilachiyad. If a person has a permanent bathroom, miloyayad, he could fill up his whole hand. In other words, because he has a bathroom, he's probably going to use it one more time that Shabbos. So all these stones that I have in my hand is not done in vain. I'm going to use it soon. Imlav, if I don't have a permanent bathroom, kechreya, like a compromise. What's the compromise? The smallest size is a zayis. The largest size is an egg. The middle one is the nut. So you can bring the middle one, the nut size, but not a whole handful. One of the most popular charts for me in Shas, but you couldn't even find it. It's all over. It was in Nida, it was in Chulin, it was everywhere. Is the pestle. We even had it the other day. The mortar and the pestle. So if a guy has a stone, but it's really a kli to crush stuff in. It's a stone, like it looks like a pestle, and you go like this. So could I use it for toilet paper? It's muktzah on Shabbos. You can't crush on Shabbos. It's a kli shemalach l'isur, which is interesting because we're talking about what's a stone that's not toilet paper, much worse than kli shemalach l'isur. Mutzah machmas gufay. So over here we're concerned, it's a kli shemalach l'isur, but I could even use a mutzah machmas gufay for toilet paper, certainly a kli shemalach l'isur. Okay. They explain different things. He doesn't want to use it. He's not has more value than toilet paper. Omer Rav Sheshes, it's getting a little queasy here. If there's remnants of a usage on it, mutter. So now somebody really established that this kli is no longer a kli. He's not going to use it for his food. He's not going to make a cake out of it because it has remnants. Somebody used it the other day. So Mamela, it becomes toilet paper. Toilet paper is mutter. So you're asking me, whoa, toilet paper. Somebody used it. That's the Gemara's question. Meisvei, asara dvarim mevim es adam l'dei tachtonios. 10 things could bring to hemorrhoids. Veiloin, hoichel ali kanim, if you eat the leaves of reeds, valik fanim, which today is like a big delicacy, right? You go to these fancy weddings, they give you meat in grape leaves. No, it brings tachtonios, no good. Velulve v'gefanim, some sort of, I don't know, some other thing that grows on the grape thing. Umarige behema beloy melach. We had this. No, didn't we have this in brachas, if I'm not mistaken? Look on the side, somebody. Anyway, so something that has ridges in it, like a tongue, or like basic koisois, the esophagus, anything that's ridgy, not good to eat without salt. V'shizur shadag, let's say you're eating sardines, the whole spine of a fish, tachtonius. V'dag meliach shalei bishakot tzarka. I remember learning this. No, we just had it. So it was recently, mamish 80 days ago. Oh, Nun Hey is the daf of Golden Dove, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere. What? Nun Gimel. We have a booking, not in Shas, in the classics. We have to ask Leon what daf it was. Anyways, I was just watching the video at 1:30 in the morning and I saw it on the bottom. That's how I remember, but I don't remember even from one night ago. Anyway. So if you have herring, the lees, the sediment of the wine, or if you use lime or some sort of earthenware for toilet paper, and here's the kicker: using a stone that somebody else already used. No, it says it's not good to use it. So what are you telling me that it's mutter to use it? It's a sakana to use it. This always, I don't get this one. The guy that hangs himself in a bathroom, which that in English it's called suicide. 10 minutes, no, I don't know how we got here. It's unbelievable. So I should slow down. Menachem is saying I should slow down. We have too much time for Amud Beis. Do not hang yourself in the bathroom. It either causes death or it causes hemorrhoids. You pick. You're poison, it's not a good thing. Lo kashya. So the Gemara says 3 explanations. Ha belach, ha beyavish. I'm sorry, you guys, that you picked this day to come. And I was like, it wasn't. But Torah is Torah. It doesn't matter your first day back. All sugyas are the same. It doesn't matter. We went through some really, really interesting and difficult stuff in Nida. No, I'm looked up the sugyas. Jonathan Stefansky, Moshe Hamburg, first time here in the Beis Medrash. Yeah. There's somebody else that's brand new here? Who else? No, that's it. You, yeah. This is the first, no, you're not new, but it's the first for you that you're actually quiet during your whole share. It's beautiful. That was Gary, your voice. I'm allowed. So, says Gemara 3 through Rutzim. If it's really moist, it's a problem. If it's dry, be my guest, use it again. Depends. If it's used, the toilet paper used on 2 sides, these boys are looking at me. 2-sided usage, not a good idea to use. You have nowhere. There's no extra spot for you to go. If it's one side, you'll have to clean your hands with the gel afterwards, but you have a nice clean spot. The boy say, what? This is Levi Freeman, our voice. Levi Freeman just said I could have brought pictures. So I will tell you, even though we have only 7.5 minutes left, we were learning a sugya of Meiraglaim. And I knew that Levi was going to make that remark. He says, Eli, no, where's the demonstration? So I pulled out of the bag a bottle of Meiraglaim. You remember that? But it wasn't Meiraglaim. It just looked like it was apple juice. I drank it afterwards. But I anticipated. I knew he was going to ask the question. This one I also knew, but I'm behaving. There's a few people on Zoom now, so whatever. Fine. What? Oh, sorry. Thank you. Oh, Yishkoyach Menachem Mata for being here. No, didn't I say that? I said that. Oh, no, I did not. You're right. There's a difference. If it's your own stone that you used, go ahead and use it. But your friend's is really dangerous. That will cause tachtonius. Question. If it became, basically the rain took off whatever was there before, if you could still see some sort of remnants of somebody that used it, yes, oh no, I don't know. Is there a video coming up? Is he taking over this new? What? Avi, what's going on? You're scaring me. You are scaring. Okay, After sharing malas, there could be a video. Boy, minei Rabbi Bar Shila Mirav Chizda. What is the halacha? Rabbi say, we said you're allowed to carry these stones, covered up brios, human dignity. But can I do extra work? Can I schlep it up a staircase? Omalei gadol covered up brios, of course. You see the Torah is makbid on human dignity. We say that if a person is a Talmid Chacham, he doesn't have to return a lost object. All of a sudden, he's parted from a Shabbos Aveda. Torah is makbid. What, a big gadol is going to start carrying a sheep in the street? And it's not proper. The Torah says that, but again, the Torah says it on a Shabbos Aveda. Don't go around and say, oh, the Torah said over there, so that I don't have to take off my shatnez shirt until I get home. No. Shatnez, yes, that not. But anyways, he was saying it over. So we have another human dignity. A person has a nice piece of meat stuck between his teeth. He looks like a fool. It's coming out of his mouth. He can't get rid of it. What do? You need a nice toothpick. Now, he doesn't have a toothpick, but he has wood laying around. Wood. So what does he do? Rebbe Eliezer says you could just take a piece of muktzah splinter in front of you and use it. Now, muktzah is the Rabbanan, so they were lenient. If it was already there for the food, for the animal, you could take from there. So says the Gemara, but you see, you cannot do it. You can't use a splinter, but it's human dignity. How he's going to go to shul with a piece of meat in his teeth. Although they're not the same, bathroom, meat and teeth, fine. But the Gemara says human dignity is human dignity. You should be allowed to use a splinter on Shabbos. Says the Gemara, so you have to be prepared. If you're negligent by not preparing toothpicks, that's your problem. Don't come, covered up brias. You should know. You should also prepare toilet paper. The problem is you don't know where you're going to be. You don't know where you're going to need it. Maybe this is my bathroom and somebody just took it. Someone in my family is using it now. I have to run outside, use another bat. So then I am lenient. Just real quickly, the Magen Avram says, but if you're eating at your friend's house and you're unprepared and you have something stuck in your teeth, if it's in a place that's going to cause you embarrassment, you're allowed to use even muktzah. You're not allowed to use the bathroom in a plowed field. Says Gemara, my time, why? You're going to ruin the guy's plowing. So what does that have to do with Shabbos? You're not allowed to cause hezek to your friend. The problem is you might be toilish. You might rip off some of the grass, the moist grass that grows on these stones. You're allowed to use that stone in a way that you're not going to rip off the grass, because if you rip off the grass, that's called what? Davar she'enim miskaven, and we all like Reb Shimon, this Gemara, that davar she'enim miskaven mutter. Obviously, you have to point out that it's not a psik reisha. It's not 100% going to happen. Maybe it's a 50-50. It's like pulling a bench. Yeah, it might have a groove, might not have a groove. You might rip some grass, you might not. Okay, davar she'enim miskaven mutter. But if you take a stone and there's little grass growing on it, don't think, ripping grass is only also when it comes out of the ground. But this is a stone. No, you're oivan toilish. Chayev chatos. So what's the problem? So why can't I use a bathroom on Shabbos in a plowed field? He's going to take a stone from down there and cover a hole. And that's a problem. We had this halacha. If you close up a hole on Shabbos, it doesn't matter where you are. You could be in your own house and you could be in a field, you're chayiv, for two different reasons. You're flattening out the surface. In those days, they had dirt floors. Making it nice and smooth is called baina, you're building. And if you're in a field, you're chayiv mishum chayrish. Now it's easier to plant, it's softer the ground. That's the problem. If you have it's not 8 o'clock yet. It's 2 minutes to 8. We'll try to be more on time, Jonathan, tomorrow. It's great seeing you in person. Omer Papi, Shma min Rabbi Rish Lakish, from this halach that we just learned, Hai Parpisa, Sharil Tatule. So, yeah, I hear it in the background. Now, beautiful Rashi here, we have to see this inside. Says Rashi, Hai Parpisa, smack in the middle of the page. Otzis Nakav Shazar Boy. They used to take a planter with holes on the bottom, and they would plant stuff. I found in the Ga'inim, they would make this like a koshilach, or like obviously koishiklach, any way you want to say it. They would fill it up with dirt, and 22 days or 15 days, the Rosh Hashanah, the Kitzur says Rashi, he found in the Ga'inim, they would do kaparas. This is the yisoid of kaparas. And they would do they put some beans in there, per piece of it, not every Yom Kippur, Rashi says, every Shana, they go like this 7 times. Interesting, they combine tashlich together with kaparas. Bekitzer, they took all the averis, wrapped it around their head 7 times, threw it into the river. This is a makar for kaparas. When I was a kid, I used to go to Crown Heights 3 in the morning, because it says in the Mishnah Berurah you should go before Kitzer. Anyway, today we got lazy, we do it with other stuff. Omar. So, you're picking up this pot. On the bottom of the pot, you have all these grasses. You're allowed to carry it on Shabbos. You're allowed to do it. And it's not what? Toilish. Perhaps I'm ripping grass out of the ground? No, not a problem. What's the connection? For toilet paper, I said you're allowed to lift a stone even though it has grass. But Stam, you want to lift up a pot and look at it? Once you're mentioning that word, let me tell you a couple of halachas. If this parpisa, this planter, was on the ground, literally on the ground, you lifted it up and you put it on a nice little planter, what is it called? A little, whatever, a couple feet, a stand, on a planter stand, thank you. Mechayev mishum toilish. Now obviously we're talking about only midirabanan. Because if it's Isser Deraisa, you wouldn't be allowed to be doing it at a Bichlal. So it's Isser Derabanan Mechayev mishum toilish. Hayamunach agavi seidois. However, if it was on the stand and you took it off the stand and you put it on the ground, now it's nursing directly from the ground. You're chayev mishum neteah. Also, you're planting. Also, a derabanan deke iser. Have a wonderful gishmaka day. We'll see you tomorrow. Be'ezer Hashem tomorrow. Great story, and we'll try to catch up. Where's the Zoom guys? We're dead? What happened? You cut them off? It all of a sudden died? We have problems. How about Zoom? Yeah, let's do Shir Malo. Shir Malo, is mi mama kin rosich adinoi. Adinoi, shimo v'koyit, yino zech kashuvo, is nikot achnoi. Ima voinoi, zishmo yo, adinoi mi amoi. Kimcho aslicho, lemati vorei. כביס ידי נוי כבשו נפשי ולדברו יכולתי נפשי לדינוי משומרים לבויקר שומרים לבויקר יחי ישראל לדינוי כמעט לדינוי החסד והרבה מוי פדוס והוא יבדס ישראל מכל אבוני סוף אחרי נקום ישראל נצאים לצור ושיב ואוהים דמבים ביום ובין ביום השבות מרחם עליהם יציאים לצור לבוכם ומפעלים אשתו ולא זמן קוריב ונאמר